Shem Yahab Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon everyone who catches this party, who catches this message, because it's time for a party. Today's party is called One of Those Days. I've been having one of those days for the past week. For the past 6 or 7 days, it's been one of those days. We get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to discuss entrepreneurship and service centered community. We have 10 different special interest groups that we speak on. We go Sunday through Friday. Each special interest group has its own day. And then on Sundays, we have question and answer period. Now, questions can be open at any time. Sunday is when we would actually take the time to basically review the things we're talking about and prepare for the next week. S.T.O.P is a very special program to me. Sustenance, textiles, occupations, and purpose. Just got a message in. Gonna wait for you to come into the party and I'll tell you. I've sent out a message to some of my dearest friends, my dearest family. I see one in YouTube, man. Yes, there you are. Kati Deborah, Hashem Yahav Elohim, Shalom Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. I saw your message come in right before you did. I saw your response to the text. That's what I was talking about. I sent that to you, to Ak Cole, and to Pastor Don. You see, that is results that are positive. I wasn't gonna come on today, but it's feedback like that that really brings me in. I am him. Christy Trustclair. Hashem Yahav Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you and your family. Deku and the other 12 people that I see in YouTube land right now, along with whoever may be on TikTok. Hashem Yahav Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. All right, so we got some little jokey smurfs that decided to show up to Joker's party. Akati, Mavis, Hashem Yahav Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. All right. Now I got to get to these little jokey smurfs real quick. It seems they wanted to post something and then run. That's all right. That's all right. For you, I am him. Don't run away. Talking about some oil up. Oil up what? There's plenty of oil in my lamp. I am here because of faith. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing my face. Little jokey smurf. Let's see here. Biggie or NF? I don't know. I don't understand anything you're talking about. Deku. So, meanwhile, Let's get back to where we were. I was explaining why I sent out that text. Kati Mavis, I didn't get a chance to send it to you because I just saw it right before I went live. The text is a picture of a list of songs that were flagged in copyright notification for the live yesterday. I want you all to understand something. It's not a bad thing. That's excellent. The songs by 3P Rouge were flagged because they were being counted as streams. Those songs are from an album that's not up for display right now. Yes, it was. It's been up for display for about 2 years. I think I released it 2 years ago. I believe Have Some Cake was released right around the same time as For Yahweh. I remember making sure that we got For Yahweh released before I left to go and travel a couple years ago. I remember putting everything together and uploading it. Matter of fact, For Yahweh was published. It was given the publication date of April 1st. I remember that. And that definitely wasn't last year. Don't think it was the year before that. So it's been over 2 years, right? The songs that were flagged were the songs that I was playing yesterday, and I purposefully made it a listening party because right now my distribution and publishing company, they have faltered on the deal. I've brought in views and they're not giving me my payout, specifically on YouTube Music, not YouTube where we watch the videos and stuff like that. There's a different app for YouTube called YouTube Music where you can play songs instead of watching the videos. The song in question uses a track from a group called Portishead from an album called Mysterions. Or maybe the album's called Dummy. Yeah, the album's called Dummy, Dummy. And the song that I used is called Mysterions, Mysteron, Mysterions. I wrote 4 verses and recorded my verses directly over their song, unabashedly, unashamed, and credit them in the actual metadata. When you purchase a CD, when you purchase a song, when you purchase a movie, and you play it in your DVD or in your computer or your CD player, if you have an MP3 that's been published and distributed through any kind of packaging company, they have to state the artist name, title of the album, title of the song. They also have to give information if there's any samples being used, if there's any other featuring artist, and so on and so forth. They will also tell you the name of the label that the artist is using. The things I've released are under the label Highest Heights Studio. So yesterday, while we were rocking and rolling and testing, the test came back positive. That's what we want to see. So when I tell you, hey, buy some music from me and then use it in your video, it's going to benefit us all. I'm not expecting a million views off of a video. It'd be great. 1,000, I've seen 1,000 views. on quite a few of my videos. Now, here's the ticket. On YouTube Music, I don't even go to YouTube Music. My song generated 8.6 million views. That means my publishing company owes me for generating 8 million views. So I've been testing the waters because right now, if I go and I look on my artist page on YouTube, it's not reflecting 6 albums or the 3 albums that it should be showing for 3P Roj. That's my artist name, 3PROJH. That's why I don't have any albums out under Terrence Thomas. No, no. If that's not the name my mother gave me, then no, that's not going to be the name that I'm going to generate creativity with either. 3P Roj is a name that directly tells you that my work is for Yahweh Elohim. 3P, plan, produce, peace. Roj, wind, spirit, soul. People want to say Ruach, Ravak, and all kinds of things. So I said, okay, I'm going to put ROJH, Rosh. It also means rock. I don't speak a lot of French. However, I come from a place called La Petite Roche. Everything that I do has all kinds of hidden meanings to it. There's always a method. Where one person might see madness, there's a method. So when I look and I see that there's a copyright flag, that is not a strike. It's not a bad thing. It's saying that we are getting credited for our work despite the distribution team faltering. I received quarterly report concerning earnings for January through March. I received that on July 1st. We'll find out about April, May, and June when the October report comes. That's also around the time when my albums disappeared from off the YouTube topic page. You see, I have my own playlists because when I make music, I make a video and then I upload it on my channel. The distribution company that I use, they start up a profile on all the different platforms with my name on it. If you go to Amazon, there should actually be 5 different albums, actually 6, that are all concerned with the label Highest Heights Studio. 3 albums are going to come from 3P Roj, End of the Brick Paved Road, Crystallized Mind, Have Some Cake. Yesterday we were listening to Have Some Cake from my video playlist. Yesterday I also showed you where I have the ISRC numbers. The reason why those are important is because they have to pay up. Every time those songs are played, no matter where, whatever site that it's played on has to pay. When my songs are played on Facebook, Facebook has to report and pay. When my songs are played on TikTok, TikTok has to pay. somewhere between $6,000 and $20,000 owed to me from Sugo Music Group. There's supposed to be a royalty report coming October 1st. It's going to tell me if they've been honoring all my albums or not. Right now, they're in violation because they have taken down my albums and they're not available for people to see them. So I've been running a test by playing the music because I have access to it all day long. It's mine. For all of the different platforms that I decide I want to use. Now, I'm not stuck with Sugo Music Group. I'm taking this ride for everything that it's worth because I have found other options, still free. And yes, there's a paid tier that this other company offers. And it's not so bad. You see, there's a problem though. I can't pay for anything if I don't have a steady income because that means if I start up something and I can't pay for it next month, it kind of falls apart. That's part of the reason why everything that I have done before and since 2016 has been how can I accomplish this using free methods? That's how I've gotten as far as I have. That's also why my business hasn't gone into a deficit. I'm not spending where I don't need to. That means that the money that does come in is used to grow the business, is used to fuel me so that I can run the business. For the past few days, every time I wake up, I'm like, oh, ew. Rather lay down and go back to sleep. Most of it is because I haven't had full rest in a very long time. Not in a week, not in a month, try years. I haven't had a real rested night since when I was married over 2 decades ago. Yes, I've had some nights that got plenty of sleep. But if I really wanted to be honest and say that my mind, my body, and my soul was rested from a night of sleep, I would have to go all the way back to when I was married, shortly after my second son was born. One of the last nights that I got some real rest, and also the beginning of no rest for the weary, because I got divorced shortly after my second son was born. He was a toddler, he was a baby, he was barely 18 months old. And my mind, body, and soul has been weary since the day that I even made the decision that I was going to have to do it. People jump up and say they're tired, and I just look at them. My heart goes out to you. One of my best friends, the CEO of Mafia Soy Publishing, El Negro Dizzy, will tell you, shoot, man, I'm tired like I'm tired like a set of Michelins. Tired like I'm down like four flat tires. Now he'll tell you he down for the cause, but at the same time he'll let you know, man, I'm tired. I am tired. So am I. You know, I signed up for this though. I just laid in the bed for the last 2.5 hours, something I don't do. Basically half asleep, not really asleep, not quite to the dream state. I mean, I drifted off enough to catch what some people would call fever dreams. Had some crazy images flashing across my mind and my, you know, And I could have sworn that my eyes was open, but I do know that I kind of closed them. I had something going on YouTube on my device. I was listening. I wasn't really watching it. Something I like to watch whenever I want to be distracted is flat earthers debunking the globe, and then responses from people replaying the video showing how even though the person was trying to debunk the globe model, their argument strengthened the mathematics behind why people say the globe is spherical in shape. I let that play in the background because sometimes I might pick up some information here and there, but most of me it's just because it's funny to hear people use information in misinformed terms. So yeah, I spent about 2 hours just kind of laying there drifting off and looked up and it was 2:55 my time. I had 5 minutes before I was supposed to be in front of you all. A lot of the times that's why it takes me a minute to get started, is because there's things I'm supposed to be doing preliminary to even starting that I really don't do. When I first started doing these broadcasts, I'd have to pick up everything that I had, move into another room in the house to set up shop. And you all saw me as I would walk back and forth doing things. That's not the case now. I'm in my own room, got everything pretty much where it needs to be. So now it's just about me. Can't tell you I'm an old man. I'm a middle-aged man. I'm a middle-aged man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I don't blame you, Okati. I don't blame you at all. I'm a middle-aged man that gave up everybody else's ways a long time ago. I'm a middle-aged man that's known to fall asleep at 8 a.m. and not get up until 8 p.m. because I had been up for 48 hours prior. I'm a middle-aged man known for going out and toiling for about 4 or 5 hours in order to load up a full house onto a moving truck, then turn around the next day and unload it, if not doing all of that in one day within 6 to 7 hours. I'm a middle-aged man that doesn't know what a regular sleeping schedule is. Haven't had one in I don't know how long. Over 3 decades. Over 4 decades now. Because yeah, I was about 10. Last time I went to bed at 8 at night and got up around 6 or 7. Because you see, in the middle of the night, my mom would come into my room and she would study. And she was quiet, had a low light on the desk. There was a clock radio that would play Sally Jesse Raphael. And when it wasn't Sally Jesse Raphael, it was NPR. So your classical music and other things. She'd creep into my room about 2 or 3 in the morning, study for a couple of hours, and then creep on back out and start preparing to get ready to go to work. 10 years old, I'm seeing her go about and doing her things. My allergies are starting to mess with me. Just even relaying this story, my eyes are acting up. At 10 years old, I would see her going about, knowing that she had already been up late after she had told me to go to bed. So she wasn't getting any sleep. And she would go and go and go. Sometimes working part-time jobs on the weekends, going, going, going. I always wanted to become successful so that she would have a chance to rest. Went out and did all kinds of things in the job field, trying to find a way to be able to pay bills and then still have something saved up so that we could do better as a family. Tried all kinds of things. Things that most people do come back and say, look, I bought a house because I took this job and I've held this job for 10 years. I picked up this skill in this trade and I've been doing it. And now I have a contractor's truck. My wife has a vehicle. I have another vehicle that I use. And here's this two-story home with the two vehicle garage and rada, rada, rada. I've seen it. I've seen it right before my eyes. I've worked on teams. Some of the contractors I worked for, they told me the story of their life. Why? I don't know. I'm just that kind of guy. People open up themselves to me. Point is, yeah, I went and took all those steps too, and no, that did not happen for me. Seems like every time I would get to the point where that was about to happen, life would happen. And that opportunity would get yanked away from me. Nope, that's not for you. I've gotten used to disappointments. I've gotten used to getting acquainted with something and then all of a sudden it being taken away. I've gotten used to it. I know I came into this world with nothing but my naked body, my mind, and my consciousness, my soul. I know that's what I came here with. And the moment I check out, that's what I'm leaving here with. So I've gotten used to things being taken away. And every time the thought goes in my mind, well, really don't need it. As my auntie would say, I make do with what I've got. Now, I won't lie to you, I'm real sour with Sugo right now. My legacy needs $6,000. My legacy needs $20,000. My family needs $20,000. I would hold a $5 bill in my pocket, knowing that there's $5,995 going to my sons. I would hold $5 in my pocket and be happy. I would hold $5,000 in my pocket or $5 in my pocket, knowing that $19,995 is going back to my family for them to enjoy. And I would be happy about it. They need it. I've learned to live without currency. Now, it's not a life that most people are prepared to live. I will tell you now. Even when I decided, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go on and step into this, I barely knew what I was stepping into. I've gone without since I was a child. I grew up watching black and white movies on an old TV set while eating spaghetti pasta with ketchup and black pepper, thinking I had a delicacy in front of me. I didn't know about eating popcorn while watching movies until I was about 10. I'm used to elbow macaroni and ketchup with black pepper. Mama cooking that? Oh, we about to watch a movie. Come from meager beginnings. I don't want much because I never had much. My uncle once asked me, well, if you had your own place and your own things, what would it be like? No, that's real simple. I'm very stoic. and utilitarian. And you all heard me yesterday tell you that, yes, I did have a studio apartment. It had an upholstered chair. It had a couch, which was actually, I want to say it was the love seat of the couch. No, it was a couch. Yeah, it was the couch. Yeah. Or maybe it was the love seat. I can't remember. It was a couch and a chair and a twin bed. I had two army trunks to store my things. There was a closet that had a few things hanging up in it. I really don't need more than 5 or 6 t-shirts, 4 or 5 sweaters, preferably hoodies, 4 or 5 pair of pants, underwear and socks, and I'm good to go. Don't need anything else. I sat in that studio apartment and cranked out 2 albums. One that had already been started that needed to be engineered with sound to make sure everything was level. Did that, turned it in, started on the second album, which I had written while I was staying with my mom. This was after I had moved away from my mom. At the time, there was a lady in my life who supposedly was going to, establish a family with me. And I was telling her, I actually do have someone. And while you're trying to play games and talk all this dating stuff, I don't do dating. I'm talking about getting married and starting a family. Well, we have to do this and we have to do that. And you know what? My wife's waiting for me in Africa. There's only one thing I have to do. I have to make sure that my family is provided for here and that I can provide for her when I go to her, and I can also give something to her family. All the extra round and around and all that kind of stuff that that woman was talking about, no. Told her I did not need her company and went back to focusing on releasing that album. I didn't know it at the time that I was going to just keep on trying to press out some more albums. I had one album that I had done and another one that had been written out and recorded and needed to be published. And on my mind was all of the work that I had done with CEO El Negro Desi with Mafia Soy. Put these 2 albums out to prove that, yeah, it can be done. Man, I need to go back and start releasing Mafia Soy music. Now, mind you, 2014, 2015, when all of this was occurring, I had just recently gotten that associate's degree. So I was preparing to be an entrepreneur. It was 2011 when I sat down with my mom and we discussed the parameters to the STOP program. My mother has retired as a principal in the penal system. At the time, she was going back for her second major in order for her to qualify to be a principal. It's 15 years ago, 14, 15 years ago. While she was going in doing those classes, I said, you know what? I've paid off my student loans. Why not go back to college and actually do something that, or study on something that I am really interested in? As an artist, I really didn't want to go into business. However, I knew that at some point I was going to have to take command because El Negro Dizzy told me, you are VIP or VP, you are the vice president of Mafia Soy Publishing. I'm dropping all this off in your hands. He did that because we had a disagreement on how to run Mafia Soy Publications. I wanted to do it organically. He found a couple of people that said if he paid them, they would promote us. I said, we can't get them to promote us until we're actually registered. So he was sending demos out to uh, different record companies and stuff like that. And I was on let's disperse tapes, CDs, and uh, digital files on thumb drives. We can pass those back and forth to people. Yeah, but we ain't gonna never make $1 million. Yeah, but it's a start. There are some people who have become quite successful and made a lot of money by selling their tapes out of the back of their car, out of the trunk. Before Spotify and all of that got big, that's basically what people were doing. An artist would go to a studio, have someone make some instrumentals, and then they would record their vocals over it, burn that onto a CD or whatever media, make a whole bunch of copies, go out, and then start selling them. What most people don't understand is even though there are a lot of artists on all these different streaming platforms, many of those artists are very low quality. Their sound is low quality. The instrumentals are not something you would want to listen to. Their lyrics are not something you would want to listen to. I know this because some of my product is like that. You all don't get to hear everything that I do. There are some times when there's some misses that I will post anyway. There's the hits and there's the misses. Yes, I post some of my misses. Some of the ones that I think are some of my best work are ignored because people are fickle. Trends change. And I'm not in this for to be trending. The message that I speak is eternal. In organic marketing, they call that evergreen content. The stuff that I talk about is they are daily concerns. Evergreen content. It's always green. Someone's always going to be interested in finding out information about certain topics. That's why I don't care about who's in whatever governmental office. Those are trending topics because they're not going to be in office forever. Somebody else is going to take their place, and then the same story is going to be developed about another person with another name in that same office. Why would I waste my time? So my mom and I sat down, and that's what we discussed. She was going in for adult education. She was going to be a principal. She had already been an adult teacher. She had already been in adult education for 10 years. So she was taking the next level. Only thing past that was to actually be the dean. And that guy was not leaving his post, right? So I said, Mom, Eventually, you will be retiring from that, from being a principal. And I want to start up something that we can actually help people. You can continue with the mission that you're on, and I can start with my mission. You handle adult education, and I want to start a workforce. I want to start a workforce, and I want to start something where we can start accumulating housing so we can properly house people. The S.T.O.P program started 14 years ago, and it's not out of business. It's not in debt. It's waiting for some warm bodies to get in position. That's why I keep saying, show me your resume. There's plenty of work available. Show me your resume. Show me what you do. Show me your portfolio. Show me the proof of the work that you do. Because you don't get to come here and lie on your resume. Shortly before my mom got divorced and I moved in with her, this particular lady who reached out to me all the way from Tanzania. S.T.O.P program needs to be done because it runs alongside with teachers of Tanzania. She contacted me and she said, you know, classrooms here are overcrowded. Students don't necessarily have the best uniforms or the best books, best seats to even sit in. We've got a tin roof that blows off if there's a sudden gust of wind. I've seen it. I've seen it. Our meals are beans and rice. And I told her, I want to do something to improve those conditions. Who's running the schools? Even though it's a public program, she told me there are sanctions because there are a certain group who are running the schools. Even the teachers, even the staff have dormitories where they stay on campus. You can stay with your family. However, some people, their families are a day's bus ride away. So the option is to stay there on campus. The S.T.O.P program needs to be happening on a worldwide basis. Everybody keeps jumping up, running to look at the classifieds to see who's hiring. In one of my songs, in one of the lyrics, I say, Allah is employing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is employing. That's at the beginning of my song. That states my name, Abdullah Malak. Abdullah Maliki Safar. I open up my eyes and I get to the task of the day because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is employing. Bismillahi, make wudu, clean myself up. Everybody has a talent. Everybody has a skill, and most people break their necks to go find some person in Babylon and ask them to employ them. And then they break their necks to be paid in Babylon currency, just to go back home and have to get rid of that currency as soon as they earned it. And then they'll buy some trinket or some dandy or some other distraction and pat themselves on the shoulder. Oh, I worked hard for this. I deserve this. Meanwhile, the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim is being forsaken because the whole time that you're using your talent, your skill, your trade in Babylon, you are neglecting the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim. Oh, I only put in 8 hours a day. Yeah, and then you rest and you might spend some time with your loved ones. Where's the time for Yahweh Elohim? Oh, I pray. How often do you pray? And what is your definition of praying? S.T.O.P program was initiated because I care. I've told you all before, I could just as easily grab a few packs of seeds and a backpack and a hammock, go find a lake somewhere, put the hammock up between two trees, throw some seeds in the dirt, fashion a fishing pole, and chunk the deuces to y'all. Never to be seen again. I'm not held here even for my legacy. They're actually provided for. However, there's more that I want to contribute. There's more that I should contribute. And if I went off to the woods and did that, I would be an infidel because I wasn't placed on this earth to go off somewhere and be a hermit. That's why I haven't done it. I'm a hermit in a house that I share with my brother on a block where I got some nice neighbors. Ran into the neighbor on that side last night when I was coming back from the store. He's the one that gave me the tomatoes, right? He wanted, and he told me when he gave them to me, I just like to know if they're even going to do anything. So it's been a week, and there's some happy little sprouts. So I had to stop him and tell him because I haven't seen him since the day he gave me those tomatoes. Pardon me, y'all are getting full view of my face because no, I don't have a shirt on and I don't plan on putting one on. It's hot. It's hot and it's muggy. But I want to show you something. You see those happy little sprouts right there in that white bucket? Those are tomato sprouts. And in a little while, I'm gonna upgrade them to a bigger bucket. Right now, I'm letting them take root and get firm. Over here, happy little lentil shoot, happy bean sprout shoot going on, and more tomatoes. That's baby spinach. There's some happy kale over there. It looks like some of the stuff I planted got shocked. Because I have a few things that have not come up yet. It's been at least 2 weeks. Looks like they got shocked, and I'll have to put some more different pods down. My black beans and my lentils from the first round, I think they got shocked outside because it was hot. They didn't like it. I had these bean sprouts that came up here inside. I had planted those 3 or 4 days later, and they were inside where it's kind of cool. And they sprouted up just fine. So I brought in all of those other pots and switched them out. It looks like I'm going to have to retry the black beans and lentils to get them really going. No, they did not like being out in the heat. The S.T.O.P program was initiated because we don't just need a telecommunications network. We need a full-blown township. We need a full-blown township that is called Yahweh Elohim is there. And I'm going to be riding on that one for a while. See, I read about it. And I know that we're supposed to have it. And I've been on a mission all my life. As soon as I learned how to walk, see the world, make a mark in the world, and come to find out my people were oppressed before I got here and they're oppressed now. So do something about eradicating this oppression instead of ignoring it. That's why I wake up feeling the way that I do, because I feel pressure beyond the barometric pressure that we feel from the Earth's atmosphere in whatever region we happen to be in. And I'm in a region that's hot and muggy. And that is not helping at all. Beyond that barometric pressure, I feel other pressure. You see, there's a 2,000-ton gorilla named ignorance. 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. This gorilla is 2,000 pounds. Sometimes I feel that gorilla on my shoulders. Sometimes I feel it on my chest. Sometimes I feel it on my back. Weighs me down. Feel every concern in the world. It's an uncomfortable way to wake up out of 3 hours of fitful rest. You heard me right, fitful rest. Tossing and turning, waking up every 5 to 10 minutes. Fitful rest, because I'm fighting battles every day. And I am already prepared as soon as I open my eyes, knowing that I'm gonna have to wake up swinging. Fitful rest. I'm not complaining about the battles coming. I read that I have been given armor. I read that I've been given a weapon. I'm not afraid of the battle. The battle is afraid of me. The battle will be happy the day that I don't show up. So I have to show up. And every time I do, that weight is lifted off my shoulders. No, we don't need just a telecommunications network. We need the whole setup. We need complete infrastructure. We need a township in the name of Yahweh Elohim. That's the only way it's going to be called. Yahweh Elohim is there. We don't need one house. We don't need a couple of acres. We need a township. What does it take for infrastructure of a town? And I'm not talking about the water lines and the electric lines and possibly a gas line. We don't need a gas line if we got solar panels and wind turbines. You don't need natural gas. We're stepping away from fossil fuels. We're going towards what's in front of us, what's already available. So, what infrastructure are you talking about, Brother TJ? Workers. Not everybody gets to be a priest. And there are some priests who will gladly get their hands dirty. My hands are black because I've been out playing in the dirt and watching the ants. My hands are black. Yes, my knees are ashy. My body is limber because I've been out here digging in the fields. Look up, smell that scent on the wind. Here comes some rain. How do you know it? There's no clouds in the sky. Rain is coming. I smell it. What kind of infrastructure are you talking about, Brother TJ? Somebody needs to be growing food. Somebody needs to be tending the educational system. Somebody does need to be out there constructing houses. Someone does need to get the wiring systems going in the houses so that there is electricity, whether we're using generators or solar panels or wind turbines or aquatic turbines because we have running water. That's what those hydro plants are doing when they're damming up the rivers and restraining the water. It's so that they can use the force of the water to turn turbines and generate electricity. That's what the STOP program is about. Not a coalition to talk about how we can fix things. No, a community building together to make a township. And after that one is established, make some more and some more and some more. My wife is waiting on me. She's a teacher. I've stepped up and become a teacher and wasn't even expecting to do so. I had it fixed in my mind that I was going to be a producer for the rest of my life. My mother's the teacher. I had no idea that I was going to wind up having to tell people about what's really in the Quran until I actually started seeing how many people give misinformation. That irks me. That irritates me to my core. And then other people go and relay even worse information because of what they heard instead of what they've actually read or just what they cook up in their brains. You see, that's called prejudice. That's called oppression. And it's also called ignorance. Ignorance is my sworn enemy. I battle ignorance every day. I cherish it. It's what keeps me going. I can go without eating. Show me ignorance. I won't fight. That's the truth. Show me ignorance. I want to fight. Show me work for Yahweh Elohim. I want to do it. Show me some people who are in need, who are of the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim. I want to help them. Show me the children who do not want to go off the path. I want to protect them. I want to teach them. For everybody out here that keeps talking about how they got to go to their job, don't tell me that. Don't even look in my direction and breathe. You just need to go to your job. Because I'm looking for people who want to work for Yahweh Elohim. Don't tell me anything about your job. Please don't. You might get your feelings hurt. Because I work for Yahweh Elohim 24/7. I have no pity for you. I know what I go through every day. And the payout is way more than a green piece of paper with some old dead person on it. The fact that I can reach out and help somebody else get better in their life brings the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim here. That is not done toiling Monday through Friday at some corporate building. You can't convince me that it is. Because everybody that I've seen that has dedicated their life to that have a real hard time grasping the concept of truly worshiping Yahweh Elohim. They can tell you all about corporate life and how you have to be a certain way. And the reason why they made it is because they were able to acclimate that way. Great. You can tell me all about Babylon. Thanks. See, Babylon is the same. The names have changed. The statues are the same. They're still there in front of all of their so-called important buildings, all these statues. Caesar is the same. He's not wearing a sheep anymore. He's not wearing olives for a crown anymore. He's got on a blue suit and wears a red power tie. And y'all are just lining up, bowing down, kissing his feet. I have no pity for you. Because no, you can't serve two masters. My master provided life. Your master works you to death. Think about it. Selah. We're rocking and rolling. Shout out to anybody and everybody who is on TikTok land. I've actually been taking it easy the last 3 or 4 days. I haven't produced any new videos. I just now generated a couple of pictures last night. Or actually, maybe it was yesterday. It was yesterday, the day before yesterday. Monday night. I developed some pictures because I have a concept concerning icebergs. You all remember when everything was being compared to an iceberg. The iceberg theory of The Simpsons. The iceberg theory of Trump. The iceberg theory of entrepreneurship. See, there's one main thing about an iceberg. See the top above water. What's below the surface is incredibly larger than what we can see on the surface. Same goes with entrepreneurship. People see your storefront. Oh, there's a business. They don't know what all goes on in order for you to have your business, your product, or your service. All they know is there's a shiny sign saying that I can go in there and find something to consume. I'm a consumer. And they go inside your shop and they look around, check out your wares, ask you some prices, might pick up something, might not. So here's the deal. There's three basic parts to an iceberg: the top, the middle, and the bottom. You have a business, you have a service, you have a product, you are a company. That's the top. You declared a name. That's the top. What goes beyond that? That's why we went through the 7-step proposal, because you declaring a name is just you saying, this is what I am, this is what I offer, and this is where you can find me. That's your contact information. Now let's go inside of that business. Let's get into the middle of it and see what's really happening. Are you the sole proprietor? Do you have employees? Is there a management staff, or is this 10 employees or less? That's a starter. Are you in a storefront, or are you running a home office? Or are you just working from home and traveling, commuting to where your clients are? Because that part is going to ascertain how you approach your future clientele. Because if you have a storefront, now you're responsible for maintaining a lease, also utility bills, so on and so forth. If you're the sole proprietor and you might have maybe one or two employees, there's a whole structure with finances there that is not the same as someone who has 20 or more. That changes how you approach your clients, that changes how you're going to approach your employees, and what your model is for growth. Are you properly registered, or did you just open up and say, here I am? What do you mean? You don't have to register with the Better Business Bureau, especially if you're a sole proprietor. It helps. You don't have to go to the bank and register as an LLC. Some people do prefer to have an LLC. It helps. However, now you have become 100% part of the centralized banking system. We're supposed to be leaving, not digging into it. We're supposed to be leaving. And then, of course, there's corporate status. And you're all in the middle of it then. So we're going to back out of all of that. And we're going to stand on being a sole proprietor. See how deep that got with the iceberg? Just like that. Right after you open up your doors and say you're a business, you already have to make a decision on whether or not you're doing this for your Elohim, or are you just doing this for the capitalist system? Right there. Out of them three choices. Even a sole proprietor still is going to have to make that choice, because then it's all upon your standards and your ethics. What is your ethical code? Is it just the statutes that come from each state and country? Are those your ethical codes? Because those are actually based on morals that come from the Bible, the Apocrypha, and the Quran. See how deep it's gotten? Just off of registering who you are. and what you offer. So who are you supposed to be registering with then? Well, there's your option. If you have a storefront and you have to pay a lease, then you're already registered with the city. And like I said, it's up to you to register with the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to. However, you have to register with the people to let them know that you exist. There was a time when we had phone books that would tell us the businesses in our local city, because there's a whole section called the business pages. You got the business pages in the newspaper, and then there's the business pages in the phone book. See, this is, as a child, this is how I was learning how to do what grown people do, is because of the divisions of things. You knew you were doing something when you could open up the phone book and somebody could find your name and your address and your phone number. See, you were a registered family then. Y'all ain't got no phone. Y'all ain't in the phone book. See, that used to mean something. Or, oh, so and so got a private line. You can't find them in the phone book. See, that used to mean something. They got a private line, but I can call their dad because their dad got a business. Mr. Smith Plumbing. Beep, burp, 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 burp. You know, Assembly, we got a phone book and there's a copyright on it. Yahashua, the Messiah's Students, Black Book. I keep asking for resumes and business proposals so I can start putting some names in the book. People act like the only thing you understand is when somebody says, okay, let's pray. And then you want to put your hands together, bow your head, and wait to say amen. There is more to it than that. I need some names to go into this book so we can start putting some people together, so we can start putting together some townships and make some things happen. Instead of everybody sitting around talking about, well, I don't know what we're going to do. It seems like everybody wants to do all this takeover and everything. What are we going to do? We're going to live the life that Yahweh told us to live. That's why everybody is suffering. You're not doing what Yahweh told you to do. Do not expect to be rewarded when you are not doing the standard. You're suffering, your neighbor is suffering, and everybody else is suffering because y'all ain't got together and said, okay, well, let's just go ahead and do the righteous thing. No, you want to debate about it. We don't have time for debating. There's work to do. You want to debate? Tell you what, go over there, pick up that shovel, that holding that rake, and then walk over there to that grassy field, and you debate with that grassy field on how that can be turned into some roads. That's what you do. Debate on that. Go down to that riverbank where all that clay is. I want you to gather up that clay, then go back and the field where you're doing all the clipping and everything. Take those clippings and mix it with the clay. Form some bricks. See that saw over there? Take that saw, go in the woods, and debate with the trees which one of them want to actually fall down so that you can make a shelter. Debate that. Do you need to know how to pronounce cut wood? You see, I'm irked. I've been irked for a very long time. I was irked before 2011 when I said, hey, Mom, let's do the S.T.O.P program. I was already irked. I was irked when I was 5 years old, looked up to the sky and said, Lord, can you help me free my people? Because these folks act like they don't know how to think for themselves. 44 years later, I'm still seeing the same thing. "44 years later, I'm still hearing about people talking about, oh, it's a shame they took out so-and-so. They keep taking our leaders. We don't need a leader. Do you really think they want to take out a whole mass of people? I want you to think about something. Words are powerful. I'm not part of a minority. The ones who call us a minority are the minority. And you can't convince me any otherwise. Oh, when I go out, I see all of this and that complexion. Well, it depends on where you go. Because I can go to a certain part of town and I'm going to see a certain complexion. If I go to a certain region of the country, I'm going to see a certain complexion. But then there are certain buildings that I can go to that are full of a certain complexion. There's some cemeteries and some hospitals I can go to that are full of a certain complexion. Hmm. I can look at a statistics log and tell you that it's a lie because they only tested the populace that decided that they wanted to be part of that test. So statistically speaking, when you call yourself a majority of what? I'm a lot like Yahashua HaMashiach. The only reason that I'm even registered is because my mama registered me. Not me. When my sons were born, my wife and I were making a decision then. We hadn't decided that we wanted to leave the country yet. Otherwise, we would have had a mid nurse to take care of everything. And then we were bouncing. We weren't even planning on staying in the state that we were in. We were about to move 5 states away. Then life happened. I don't do anything according to the procedure that they put in front of me. Never have. They say I have a problem with authority. Somewhat. If you're not authorized to be telling me to go and do something, then I'm gonna have a problem with you telling me that. If it's not something that I'm supposed to be doing, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with you telling me that. If it's something I don't want to do, I'm gonna have a problem with you telling me that because I already have an agenda. There are things that have already been set on my mind that I'm supposed to go and do. Nothing else. Especially if it is not beneficial to Yahweh Elohim. And that's the way we all need to be thinking. Anytime somebody asks you anything from now on, is that pleasing to Yahweh Elohim? I probably shouldn't be there if it's not pleasing to Yahweh Elohim. Count me out. Simple practice. And when you go to the township of Yahweh Elohim is there, that's how everybody will be. See, that's one accord. That's homologio. That's the same logic. Not just repeating verses to each other, but living them. I don't have to tell you what book or what chapter or what verse it came from. You see me doing it. Come along and join in the party if you want to, because we're all doing this right now. We're going to reap the benefits of it later. And we'll have a festival in the name of Yahweh. Come join us. That's where my mind is. When I make it over to Tanganyika, that's where my mind is. When my grown sons can travel with me, and the possibility of a brand new family too, where my sons can have some siblings. That's where my mind is. Where my people are not oppressed, where we go out and pick bean pods off the plant and chew on them and go on about our business. Where we can go to a big bush of nothing but tomatoes and grab one off and take a bite out of it. See, these were the things that I did walking around with Mr. Jake. That's what made me look up and say, Lord, how can we have this for our people instead of us having to work for somebody else and we can't take home nothing? That hurt me. I'm thinking Mr. Jake had the best house ever. Come to find out, he's sitting in the middle of a plantation. That broke my heart. To go back to school and listen to these folks talking about, oh, the slaves have been freed. No, the hell they have not. Oh, yeah, I wake up angry every day. I wake up ready to battle every day. The battle wants me to not show up. Because every day that I don't show up to the battle, my people die for lack of knowledge and application. Y'all know something? I haven't prayed over this live yet. Ausu billahi mina shaitana regime. We seek the protection of our Father against shaitan and the evil ways while we travel along the divine path. We speak surah and prayer, salah, so that we can get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's recite Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. In the name of our Father, the most compassionate, the most merciful, Lord over worlds, creator of our deen, most compassionate, most merciful. We ask your forgiveness when we disobey. We ask you to teach us to forgive others the way that you forgive us. We thank you for the deen, the divine path. Amen. I wake up fired up and ready to go because Al-Fatiha is an oath. It is an oath saying, I will stand up and represent the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim in all ways, forms, and facets. It said that when we pass away, each of us will have our moment to meet the Creator, and we will be asked, have you heard Al-Fatiha? Anyone who's been listening in the last 2 or 3 minutes, you've heard it in both English and Farsi. Farsi is a tongue. It's the Persian language. It's not Arabic. Arabic means nomad or nomad tendencies. There are plenty of families and clans who are called nomads, and not all of them speak Farsi. As a matter of fact, I belong to a clan or family called the Lakota Sioux. They don't speak Farsi, and they are nomads. Blackfoot Sioux, Plains Indians, or the people who did live on the eastern coast along the Appalachian Mountains. Ashe, so be it. Yes, ma'am, Makati. Yes, ma'am. 15 minutes away from the top of the hour. We've been rocking and rolling. We were rocking and rolling before the electric guitar. We were rocking and rolling before that boat that nobody wants to talk about. We were rocking and rolling, traveling on boats, visiting and casting nets. When I tell you that it's important to support your artists that you know in your community, it's because that's how we can grow. Got 15 minutes, I bet I can play at least 3 or 4 songs from Before You Holler album. See if I can find it. I haven't looked for it on this new computer yet, but it should be just as a playlist on my channel. So let's see. That's what we need right now. I got some work I need to do behind the scenes when I get done with this. There's a song folder I need to send to Pastor Don. I revealed it and played it here before. I need to send it to him so he can start playing that music. I need to open up this laptop after I play these songs. Went and bought a handy dandy tool yesterday. Although the screws are Phillips head, this one's a flathead. Should be able to get the back taken off so that I can clean out the inside of that laptop. I am afraid of it overheating and burning out the CPU. That would hurt my heart. It's 22 years of work on here. Well, no, 12. I'm bad at math. 2013 is 12 years. It's 12 years worth of stuff on here, though. It's the whole reason why it's been put to the side and not being used. It's because I'm still trying to hold on to it. There's things that I've transferred over to other computers from this, and things that I've transferred over to thumb drives and all of that. There's so much memory stored on this thing that it would take a whole other computer for me to be able to transfer all the stuff and feel happy and safe about it, right? Well, I left it sitting too long being idle. The screen went out on me. There we go. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to wrestle with the laptop because we have some for Yahweh right here. We'll start with Yahweh Urain. Come on, come on. There's a town called Yahweh Elohim is there. We need teachers, lawyers, doctors, nurses, fire brigade, farmers. If you happen to know how to put together some scenes, sustenance, textiles, occupations, purpose. That's your infrastructure for the city. Everything that you're running off to go to the job world to do, those talents and skills should be used for the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim, not for Merrill Lynch, not for the central bank, not for Walmart, not for Kroger's, not for Levi Strauss. And as long as we keep ignoring each other, we're going to also be ignored by our Creator because we are not doing our Creator's will. Our Creator's will is that we work together to build the kingdom. Those are our instructions. I really don't see why there's so much difficulty. That was Yahweh You Reign by Cole Before Diamond. Let's play one more selection. This is Psalms 1. You can find Brother Cole's album on Bandcamp, Bandcamp, Bandcamp. For your house. There's 8 tracks. Laptop just now powered up or restarted. It went to a blue screen on me. I had to get it going again. Still might take a moment for it to get lined up. So there's always Old Faithful. See, I uploaded 3 songs to this particular streaming site a while back, and I really have the option of uploading as many tracks as I want to here. I like to be able to play them through my other device just so I can experience it too. Otherwise, I have to put some earphones in to hear what you all are hearing. I can hear it a little bit. So here we go. This one's from me. Y'all have heard it before. Destiny and Journey. We'll close out with this one. For the fans. World Wide Web. 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 Well, I'm standing on the corner of Destiny and Journey, learning legalese so I won't need attorneys. Things are getting way too shy, it's down in dirty south. No innovations coming out of players' mouths. Time to head for the border, take my crew on an Iliad. Reach out and touch the world, exposing 10% affiliates. But now I'm sure you guessed, we live in continental US. And we won't stop until we blow up the spot in Bangladesh. It's a mystery how such a small crowd controls the currency, while the rest of us are rats running on wheels in laboratories. False freedom society is only a maze for chasing cheese. The world spins 360 degrees, and so can you. Pick up the game from Parker Brothers and go get a clue. Wait a minute, let's take it back stateside. Nigeria is the web of our thoughts worldwide. Wait a minute, let's take it back stateside. Nigeria is the web of our thoughts worldwide. Worldwide, 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 worldwide. Trapped in Groundhog's Day, why repeat yourself? Playing virtual reality, pretending you an elf. If it wasn't for my ijtihad, I'd be a thief or assassin. Quiet panther, stalking while you're raising rockers blasting. Seems the only sound investment these days is black jackets and caskets. I got a subterranean locomotive headed straight for Canada. Need some Medicaid, socialism's the only answer. Mosey on down to the shores of the Caribbean. Start speaking in tongues, make them think I'm Bolivian. Organized Aztec protests at the doors of Mopec. There's some villains making trillions, taking till nothing is left. Move on to the jungles, strap myself to some trees, save the rainforest so our planet can breathe. Or would you rather die because it killed the cure to your simple disease? Steady propagating social crime called greed. Corporations stealing land from aborigines with no treaties. Wait a minute, let's take it back stateside. Nigeria is the web of our thoughts worldwide. What about the Monroe Doctrine? Rip it up, burn it, and cast it to the four winds. Enemies trade secrets for lies told on friends. So let's take it across the ocean to the land of my hide. The core of my body shakes like ropes in a royal rumble. Native tribes committing genocide to the ATLian beat of humble mumble. Apartheid hasn't died, it's just no longer covered. The smell of death is in the air, sky overcast, and baby boom of the buzzard. Why is it the empires must colonize everything they discovered? Put a brick wall between you and the land you call mother. Hypothetically, you can't discover what's already there. So who are you to tell me how to walk, talk, and wear my hair? And what's up with this free zone? No flying over holy land, fighting over oil and sand. From the streets of Turkey and Israel to the dunes of Iran and Afghanistan. All of your holy books told you how to survive in this place. The last time I checked, we were all humans in the same race, supposedly cognitive. So tell me what the hell are you doing? Civilization and things falling apart, we're marching off to ruin.
Let's take it back stateside. Pangea is the web of all thoughts worldwide. Worldwide The past has been preserved for us to learn from mistakes, like re-engineering buildings on the sites of earthquakes. Strap two life preservers onto your feet. Take a stroll on the beach on the search for some eats. It takes a while to find something in the Aquarian. Go to Mesopotamia and find the Bavarians. Maybe go to Europe, smoke some hash and walk through tulips. Take a tour through the Caucasus Mountains and flow some knowledge on your ass from the peaks of Shiraz, but we're not through. The Filipinos, Indians, and Chinese have been patiently waiting like the Haitians, staging demonstrations, meeting you free, and you be you. Leave me alone to do what I must do. I believe in the eightfold path that must be right. Because you find it inserted in every world religion in sight. Not only that, but let's take it to the Swiss Alps. The population is in order with no split the scouts. So what's up, Mr. President? I don't mean to rush ya, but can you tell me what you plan to do about Poland and Russia? Hey, wait a minute. Let's take it back stateside. Pangea is the web of all thoughts worldwide. Worldwide web.
Wrote that song in 1999. So one more thing I got to share with y'all before we do close out, though. All praises to the Most High Yah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises to our source of sustenance and mercy. I mean, there's one more thing I need to share with you all. You may or may not have seen the thumbnail for today's broadcast. We talked about S.T.O.P, but we haven't talked about cryptocurrency analytics. Thumbnail shows a screenshot from my wallet on Open Fund. I'm sharing a little secret there. I think it shows the market cap to one token that I have, and it's a hidden token. I actually have about 10 hidden tokens. And I've explained before that there's a difference between having your coin, your assigned coin, and then there's the tokens. Tokens are the investment side. If I wanted to put out an announcement that I need to raise $500, I would use that through my token. I would do an explanation of what the $500 is needed for and what people will get in return for doing the investment. And people pay in and you buy a certain amount of tokens and it is exchanged for that currency value. So if somebody from Kenya wanted to buy my token, they would use K currency. They would use their particular currency to buy into it. And in exchange, they would get a certain amount of tokens. You hold those tokens. I checked in on DSO yesterday. I think I told you all that. I checked in and it had gone up from $3.48 to $4.20. And because of that increase, everybody else who has any kind of coin on the DSO network, of course, their coin went up in value. That also means that anything that has been placed as an NFT, those prices change according to the dollar value of DSO. I mean, dollar value, euro value, whatever you want to call it. Because to be honest with you, all of those are defunct. Bitcoin is the currency model now. It has skyrocketed. It has gone beyond any financial means from any nation on this planet. There's not an organized nation that has currency that is equal in value to Bitcoin, an electric form of currency. One coin worth over 100,000 US dollars. Not to joke on Mr. T because he took all of his chains off. You get the picture though. Even if he turned in all of his chains, it's not going to equal what one Bitcoin is. The market cap is saying what it's worth overall. And I'm showing the market cap of a hidden coin, and it's still showing that it's worth 50 something million dollars. It's hidden because the only time I will ever really see the true value of it is when there's a Bitcoin dump that happens in the middle of December. That Bitcoin dump happens because that's how they pay for all of their efforts for the next fiscal year. So the Bitcoin dump comes in at the last quarter of the year. All of the people who are on DSO use cryptocurrency. Some of them do have a job that they report to. However, most of them are already experts on exchanging cryptocurrency, and they are using technology in order to have their means of life. you know, that's their path. One of the people on there, his name is John. He's the one that set up Open Fund. Open Fund is one of the apps that you would use so that you can look at your wallet, so you can also exchange other cryptocurrency and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's the place where you would um, do your fund drives, for lack of a better term. Instead of GoFundMe, you write up your terms and your policy. You open it up, people contribute. You're still in full control of 100% of all proceeds. And it's up to you what you promise in return to the people. All of that's written out in a form that they call your white pages. Your white pages would be your proposal. We know the 7 steps in a business proposal. A funny thing happened on the way to today. I was reviewing some of my notebooks. I've given you all the simplified version. The version that I was supposed to do in class, there's 15 steps. You have the simplified version. I had taken a course before I got into my college courses because there was someone who was offering uh, business licenses. And there was a lady I had who she was trying to start a super church and she wanted me to be a bishop. I told her that there was this small business effort that I wanted to do because even then the seed was in my mind about the S.T.O.P program. This is prior to me speaking with my mother. This was 2009 when this happened. I had a friend. I have a friend because we're still friends. He's a libertarian in the state that I've spent most of my life in, not residing there right now. He's a libertarian, and he was involved with politics from high school all the way through college and up to now. And I'm sure he's probably in his early 40s. He's one of those people who are part of that DIY community that I come from. He puts in an effort all the time to make sure that people who are in the agricultural world are being properly represented. And I told you certain things that he does stand for that I don't. It is what it is. He and I had sat down and decided that we did want to start something that was a work program and also housing, because it's horrible what people are saying that they are using for standards for halfway houses and things like that. It's horrible. So why not work and earn your lease? Do work, and part of your pay goes towards where you live. Then we can fully embrace the term occupation, because that's whatever space you're occupying, not your toil, not your work. It's wherever you happen to be at that moment. That's your occupation. That spot is occupied by you, right? So if you happen to work from home, your occupation is at your residence. So at that time, also, let's see here. I forgot where I was working at. Working at Wendy's for a second as I did drive through. Made it up to become crew trainer. I never became the part of the management staff. But I was working drive through. This lady comes through and she does her order and she pulls up and she looks at me. She says, "Have you considered doing voiceovers?" So I thought about it. Oh, my sound is freezing. I don't know. The camera did jump just a little bit, and we're almost on our way out. I haven't made any changes, so Signal is doing what it's doing. You know, I'm actually dropping some jewels right now, so that's expected. Because no, they don't like how I play with their toys, right? They're gonna do something. Yeah, I see it now. It just buffered then. They're gonna do something because no, they don't like how I play with their toys. So this lady was asking me if I did voiceovers, and I said, "Well, no, I do recordings and stuff like that, and I've thought about it. I actually am working on some comic books, and we're going to turn those into anime and movies. So there's your voiceover effort right there." Understood. I understand it's going in and out. That's because they are buffering my signal. I'm less than 10 feet away from my actual Wi Fi device, the tower, and I haven't moved, been in the same spot the whole time. That is the point. There are places we can broadcast from where we won't have to deal with this issue. I don't expect a completely clear channel because this is not a channel that belongs to me, nor does it belong to Yahweh Elohim. It belongs to the people who run the corporation for YouTube. I'm sure the screen has been going crazy on TikTok. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. All of you who catch this message. I wasn't just ranting earlier. I am very serious. We need to be putting in an effort to build our own. We should not have to rely on systems that buffer and stall us out. I'm having to rely on these systems in order to contact you. to let you know we are going to a different network. That's the point. Exactly. They are all in bed together. That's what everyone needs to understand. Just because they say they are in competition, no, they are not. They're all in bed together. Don't believe me? Tell you what, if I was up here dancing around and everything else and did have some baby oil on, oh, there would be no problems with my signal right now. If I had on a funny glitter hat with all the colors on it, there would be no problem with the signal right now. That is the point. That's also what I'm telling you about DSO, the social network, decentralized. Yeah, YouTube is mad at me. I'm telling you about a way for you to actually start making money instead of breaking your neck trying to be monetized by YouTube. They don't want me doing that. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's a battle that I fought back in 2013 with just a simple radio station. A radio station. 24/7, play whatever I want for 90 days. They did not like how I played with their toys. There are some people that are not going to come along on this trip. There are certain people who are not going to be going to Yahashua Elohim is there. They won't make it. They're too chained down by things that hold them in Babylon, the things that they got comfortable with, the things that they actually cherish. They're not going to make it to Yahweh Elohim is there. I look forward to the day, that first day, when I open my eyes and I look around to see that I am within the township of Yahweh Elohim is there. That's my aspirations. On that thumbnail, showing some hidden tokens. I've looked at my wallet and saw where I was worth over $1 million. Sent a screenshot to Kohelet and Honorable Amma. Look at this. There's certain investors who gave me their tokens because they saw what I was doing. Those tokens are still sitting there. Those are the tokens that are used to run the infrastructure for the social network. I have coins from some of those same major people. Those are the coins that I keep. I have the ticket for you all to have access. Those who are standing up and saying, let's get that township going, are the ones who are going to be on this boat. All others can stay at the port and wave as we leave. I'm not a heartless person. I'm throwing these jewels in front of everybody. It's up to you to pick them up. I stopped what I was doing 4 years ago because I knew I couldn't go by myself. You don't have to invest in the token Akatu. All you have to do Post up pictures about those beautiful cookies that you make and that wonderful bread, and people will invest in you. They will give you their coins. They will give you the tokens. And there's certain ones, like I said, I've already got their stuff. So when I set up a profile for someone, I put those coins into your wallet. That means that those people know you exist. And when you start posting and you show that you're active and you're a real person, not a robot or not trying to scam, they will reach out to you. That's the point I'm making to you. I have not put a dime into any of this. It was all generated from my efforts. The same thing you see me post on Facebook where nobody is saying anything. I go and put the same post in diesel world, and there's people saying, "Oh, that's great. Here's a tip. They give you a diamond, that's a penny. If you get 10 people giving you diamonds, sometimes those diamonds are 10 cents. Sometimes they're 50 cents. Sometimes they're a dollar. The more active you are, the more people will come in and actually spend real money with you. That's what I was explaining about the one named John. John set up open funds so that we can actually work with our wallets. John, John is a naturalist. He works at a national park somewhere in the Netherlands. He likes to take photography of walking the nature trails. We became friends because I saw what he did, rendered up a couple of images, made a little short video, said, "Here's an NFT. It's a gift." The people who send me tokens, I've exchanged a personal NFT to them. Those videos that you see, yes, 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 Akati. Those classes are not going to be on YouTube. They're not going to be on TikTok. That's going to go into Discord. And from Discord, we're going to some other networks. When we do our chat lines on Discord, there's no buffering, number one. And then we move into a separate private place where we can actually share our projects. You have pictures that you've taken. I can take those pictures, do a little editing, and send them back to you. We can put all the pictures together and do a video edit. That goes for everyone. That's why you've seen reposts from me about Buddha Charlie's work, all Juno-ish. It's because a couple of years ago during one of the men's meetings, Brothers in Black, one of those meetings, I made the announcement. This is what I do. You send me your work, I will make you a customized video. I'm offering you for free what I would normally charge $1 per second. I want to get your names out there. You know what my other option is? Whatever town I happen to be in, go find all the strip malls, find out who is actually a sole proprietor business, ask them what their promotion team is like. And guess what? I stumbled upon that the other day. Remember, I told you all, me and Aki Ben went and broke fast, went and sat down at a soul food restaurant that we visited a few times and actually spoke with the proprietor. Got to know the whole family. Spoke with the promotion team, gave them some pointers, and said, when you're ready to learn about cryptocurrency, talk to me. Made an agreement with them. There's going to be times where I might walk by and snap a picture and post it up saying that you all do exist. You're here. Oh, that's great. Please do that. We're going to have our grand opening in October. Awesome. You see, that's what I really do. If I go to a place, that's what my eyes are open for. I told you that's what I was trained to do in school, my actual career path. Analyze what's going on inside of a business and then optimize that business. I wasn't playing when I said it really does cost $65,000 for my services if I'm there with you for 3 months to 6 months, not all year. No, you owe me 65,000 because I'm about to save you 65,000. That's who I am. That's what I'm worth. That's why I'm not handing my resume to anybody. They shut all that down back when Enron happened. Now what's going on? A whole bunch of businesses that don't have any ethics are going in crumbles. Plain and simple. That's why I'm telling you about cryptocurrency. There is no value to the dollar. The dollar has to line itself up against cryptocurrency. US government is actually already producing a US government cryptocurrency coin. Countries outside of the United States, they have been lining up with cryptocurrency. Some of them are using Ethereum. Some of them have other coins that they use. People are slow to move because all you can hear is that's a scam, that's a scam, scammity scam. That's because most people aren't putting any effort in. They are finding ways to actually scam people. Most people don't want to put in any effort. Something else I noticed about human beings. That's why I don't like human beings. I don't like being around them. I found some people that I deeply care about, and I want us to succeed. I want us to be able to see Yahweh Elohim is there, the township. I want us to see it. I want us to be the ones who are building it and maintaining it. Those classes are not meant for YouTube or TikTok. I don't have a Patreon because I don't have a bank account. I'm here telling you how you're going to find me. So, yes, I'm going to make a profile on my side for each and every one of you. If you saw your name on that picture where it had a dollar sign and then so on and so forth, like you, Akati, it actually says dollar sign Staples of Mavis. There's obedience of Deborah. All your Havada no ish. Dollar sign 3PROJH. That is my coin. That's all real. I'm getting a notification that we're about to have a men's meeting in 30 minutes. I want to put something on you all's mind. Women in red, brothers in black, united as a coin. WRBB. That means anything that you all want to do. You don't have to use GoFundMe. I'm here to show you those things, but it means you have to get away from these platforms. I come here to let you know that I'm at another place. I come here to spend this time because I know this is where you are comfortable. However, when the time comes and I say this is the new signal and this is where we need to be, those who don't comply with the first simple instructions are not going. Because I know full well how to beat a sword into a plowshare and clip and prune. I've been trained. Ben stepped around the corner a moment ago. I think he's got something on his mind he wants to tell me. And like I said, there's a Brothers in Black meeting coming up in 30 minutes. I'm jumping in you all's faces because I've been saying these statements all the time. It's been in all my videos. All this same information has been in my videos. Took charge and went live so that the people who really want to know, you all can show up and respond and we can start building. I'm not looking for 1,000 views on my video. I'm looking for 1,000 resumes saying, let's work. Please understand that. I can't tell you about a dollar that I have until everybody else is putting in as well. And that's the truth. I did not want to turn the camera on today. But I knew I had to. Lord ain't even gonna make me. I have to make the choice. Adon is not gonna make me do it. Adon will give me the energy when I start and ride on through it. But no, Adon is not gonna make me do it. It's not gonna make you do it. You have to make that choice. And once again, what's the reward? Seeing the township of Yahweh Elohim is there. And if you don't know what I'm referencing, go to Ezekiel 40 through 48. Much love, many much respect. Yahweh, our creator is love. Ahava, love is love. If you see someone in need, go help them. Don't wait for them to ask. Don't expect a thank you. We're not in it for that. We're doing this to bring the will of Yahweh Elohim to this life realm. That's complete compassion. Amitaba, Amitofo. That's compassion in both Japanese and Chinese. Go out and be the reason somebody else is smiling. Go help someone else. Feel that warmth and that vibration in your heart when you actually stand on your love, on your compassion, on your standards that's in your heart. Feel it grow because the person you helped starts to feel it too. I don't receive a paycheck telling me what FICA took out of it. I receive genuine thank yous and genuine support. I got the best cookies and the best sweet potato bread ever. First time ever having some sweet potato bread. Thank you. Yes, Ezekiel 40 through 48. Yes. Ezekiel 40 through 48. You will know exactly who I am. Yes. 40 through 48. All 8 chapters. Oh, and I did the preparation and didn't follow through. Shame on me. One moment. I can't let y'all go yet. You know what time it is. Oh, I got to share this with the world first. This here, sweet potato bread. I took off the a little edge, one side of it. Chocolate chip cookies with walnuts and stuff in it, and bit into it, and the chocolate was melting on my fingertips. Here we go. You all know the drill. Oh, believe me, I'm going to enjoy it, and then I'm going to enjoy the memories. You better believe it. When I get the chance, I'm going to line out. I really shouldn't have took that slice off before I took a picture of it, but oh well. of the bread. But I'm going to line out some pictures of both the bread and the cookies. I bet it is amazing with hot coffee. Ugh. But you know what I'm about to do, right? You know what I'm about to do. Let's get this going. I've been sipping on my water, but you know I keep one for a special occasion. Water. Me and my auntie cousin. I call her my auntie cousin because she's my mom's niece. They grew up together as sisters, and I've just always treated her as my auntie. And once I got older, me being who I am, I always got jokes. So whenever I see her, I call her my auntie cousin. Hey, auntie cousin, what you doing? She'll say, I got me some water. I say, yeah, I've been drinking water too. Picked that up from her, and then got my cousin from Chicago. I always saw him as my older brother. He's about 2 years older than me. And he introduced me to blades and bikes. We can see the blades in the sky while we ride our bikes. What? So every now and then, if I want to play around, I'll use that one. But honestly, I do call it cool. So, auntie cousin, what kind of thick Mississippi accent did that come from? You are nowhere from there. It's just how I talk, boy. So here we go. Have you been feeling like you're in that sunken place? You know what you need to do? Come, ya Hasrael. Hizan ya Hasrael. Hizan ya Hasrael. Come out of it. Rejoice. I just told you one of my favorite scrolls, Ezekiel, and then there's Isaiah, and Revelations. Those are my favorites. Most people run away from the books about the prophets. The prophets tell you if you do this, things will be great. If you don't, you're in trouble. People run away from that. I dig all into it. I love it. Many much love and respect to all of you. Till next time.